Hello again, it's me. Today's math lesson is page 237 and 238. And this will be a very quick video. This is very simple. It's adding and subtracting decimals. We talked about decimals this week. You should have just done the review page for decimals. And now we're going to add and subtract our decimals. Now, when adding and subtracting decimals in a column, you have to keep the decimal point in the sum, in the answer, in the exact same place. All you do is bring it straight down when you're adding and you're subtracting. Now, when we get into multiplication, we'll do something a little different with it. But when we're adding and subtracting decimals, we just keep that decimal place in the exact same column. Let's look up at the yellow box on page 237. It says, when adding decimals, keep the decimal point in the sum directly below the decimal points in the add-ins. When subtracting decimals, keep the decimal point in the difference directly below the decimal points in the minuend and the subtrahend. Okay? Very, very simple stuff. You're just going to add just like normal, but when you get your answer, you need to make sure the decimal point is exactly where it is in the problem. So what I would do is go ahead and draw it directly under where it's supposed to go, then add as normal. So 2 plus 9 is 11, and then 11 plus 6 is 17. Put our 7 down, carry our 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Come over here, 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer is 28.97. Okay, or 28 and 97 hundredths, if we're going to read it like we would. We know how to do that now. Okay, let's look at our subtraction problem. Well, I can automatically see in this first one we're going to have to borrow, but before I start, I'm going to draw my decimal point right under where it is in the problem. Kind of got a little off to the side. So I'm going to borrow from the 7. That becomes a 6. This becomes a 13, because I borrowed a whole 10 from that. And I have to add the 10 to the 3, that becomes a 13. So 13 minus 4 would be 9. Okay, 6, take away 8. Can't do it, so you're going to have to borrow again. Borrow from the 1. It becomes a 0. This becomes a 16. All right, then 16 take away 8 is 8. And then 0 take away 9. Can't do it. So I have to borrow from the 3. The 3 becomes a 2. And then that becomes a 10. Okay? So 10 take away 9 is 1. And then 2 take away 2 is 0. So $1.89. Or I read it as a dollar amount, or it could be 1 and 89 hundredths. Since it's got 2 places, it would be in the hundredths place. All right, but the only thing you need to know with adding and subtracting decimals is just make sure you keep them in the exact same spot as they're supposed to be in the problem. Don't, if I decided to put my decimal over here, I've just messed up the problem, okay? You got to keep it directly in line with your add-ins or your minuend and subtrahend. You've got to keep it in the answer exactly where it was in the problem. All right, so if you look at section 1, I want you to do all of section 1, all of section 2, all of section 3 and 4. Section 5, you can mark out the green. Section 6, that's what we did just 2 days ago, or just 2 papers ago, however you're doing this. Filling that in. Remember, when you see that decimal point, everything that comes to after the decimal point is your tenths, hundredths, thousandths place. Everything before the decimal is your ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, thousands, all your normal place value. Okay? Go ahead and do both story problems. And on the homework section, you can mark out A, B, and C, and D. Then I want you to do all the rest. E, F, G, H, I, and J. Those are all the multiplication problems that you need a little extra work on. So go ahead and do all that page, but on the homework section, mark out A, B, C, and D. All right? Again, if you have any questions, feel free to text me, have your parents text me, call me, FaceTime me. If I can answer it, I will. If not, I'll call you back. I love you guys. Miss you again.